How's it going, everyone? Welcome to Flick Things. My name is Daniel, and today I'm going to be reviewing Indiana Jones: The Dial of Destiny. Before we get into this review, I know this is a late review actually, but I was gone for a couple weeks. I just wasn't up to it because unfortunately my grandfather passed away. It was unexpected, so it really hit home really hard, and I just wasn't up to it. But I'm glad to be back now. I will say this, Grandpa, we love you. The entire family will miss you, and we will continue to carry on your legacy. So let's jump into this review. I actually wasn't, looking forward to this movie. It wasn't really in my radar because I just didn't care, and it's not because I'm not a fan of Indiana Jones, because I'm actually am a big fan of Indiana Jones. I actually watch the original three quite a bit. The reason why I just wasn't looking forward to this because it's just no one really asked for this, and myself included. I do feel the trilogy ended on a good note, and then we had Crystal Skull, which I actually never saw until recently, and I was like, yeah, I get it why people don't like this movie, and I didn't like it myself. Like I was pretty bored with it the entire time, and even till the ending, I was like, wait, that's it, and then it ends. I'm like, all right, whatever. So when I heard this movie was getting announced, I'm like, it's been so many years, and Harrison Ford is like, what? He's got to be, almost pushing 90 at this point, and it's like, I can't get behind an old dude, doing all this crazy adventure, archaeologist stuff, at that age. So I just wasn't looking forward to it because like I said, I don't know anyone who was asking for this, and I myself wasn't asking for it. So it was just one of those movies that like I was gonna check out, but I wasn't, like, it wasn't on my radar like how Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse or Across the Spider-Verse was on my radar, and the Mission Impossible movie that's coming up, and Oppenheimer and all that stuff, and Dune 2, whatever. This just wasn't one of them. It was just like one of those things like, all right, I'll check it when it comes out. So in saying that, I did come out of this movie with mixed emotions. Let me back up a little bit because the reviews were coming out, and it's saying it was bad, it was terrible. So I was like, all right, that even lowered my expectations even more. And so when I came out of this movie, I was like, okay, it's not as bad as everyone's saying it is, but it's also not good. There were a lot of entertaining moments throughout the movie, especially the beginning. I actually loved the beginning of the movie. I was like, this is awesome. This is reminiscent of like old Indiana Jones. It was, I really enjoyed it. And then, the way it takes place is like, it's like pretty much like a flashback of a younger Indiana Jones, but then it goes back into the present time. And yeah, Indiana Jones is, like an old man and grumpy, whatever. He's on the verge of getting divorced and everything. But this story just really did intrigue me. It was like, whatever. Harrison Ford himself was actually pretty great in the movie. I'll give him that. He's great as always in all the movies he's in. Even the kid, there's a kind of like a sidekick to one of what's her name, Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character, which I actually enjoyed. I thought he was a pretty cool addition. He wasn't overbearing and anything like that. He was a nice addition. Speaking of annoying and overbearing, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, she was annoying. She was really bad. I could not stand her character at all. She was just a douchebag, and she was just like a total backstabber. She backstabbed, Indiana Jones quite a few times, and I'm just sitting there thinking, like, how these writers expect us to get behind this character when she's just totally a jerk and being a backstabber to our favorite character, who, one of the most beloved characters in all of cinema. Do the movies follow this kind of trope, or this kind of like character arc where there's like some redeeming qualities at the end? I'll say, I don't want to get into too much spoilers, but pretty much the majority of the movie, she is the same throughout the whole movie up until the very end, and it's like, dude, it's already too late. her, like, all the redeeming qualities and all the things that, that could have won us over has been gone. She's just really annoying and just very insufferable. I just could not stand her character at all. Yeah, it was really bad. It kind of took me out of the movie. I couldn't get really behind her motives, or just in any everyone's motives in general. Like, even Harrison Ford, because I kind of don't want, well, I mean, I don't want to get into spoilers, but basically he's kind of tagging along for the ride, and it's not for what you think. It's not like he just wants to go on one last adventure. It's more so that he's trying to repair something. We'll leave it at that. He's trying to do something to clear his name. I don't want to get into too many details, but it's like, okay, he's doing it for this reason. She's doing it for selfish reasons because she wants to get paid. And even the main villain, which is Mads Mikkelsen, I don't know, maybe I missed like where he explains what his great grand plan, but throughout the movie you don't know what his motive is. You don't know why he wants to dial the destiny till like the very end. And I'm like, so like throughout the whole movie, it's like I couldn't really get behind any character because like all their motives were just like, it was just, I didn't really care for them. Like I said, Indiana Jones, he's doing something, going along for the ride because he wants to clear his name for something. And then Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character, she wants to get paid, and like I was pretty much going along for the ride. And I will say there are some, like I said, there's pretty awesome action scenes in this movie. There's pretty, like, I was entertained throughout the movie. I wasn't like bored per se, but I was just, like I said, I was just going along for the ride. And I did appreciate the action sequences that were in this movie for what they were. I enjoyed them, but like as far as the story and the plot, I just didn't care at all. I was just like, meh, all right, whatever, going along for the ride. And here's where it kind of fell off the rails for me. The ending. The ending is absolutely terrible. I did not like the ending at all. It was very anticlimactic. It was just very stupid, and it just didn't make any sense. And I'm just like, what? Like, why? And like I said, Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character has like this sort of some change of heart, and it's just like nothing gets resolved. Like I said, they all have these certain motives, and there's no payoff for any of them. It just kind of, they get in the situation, and they're like, all right, like I said, I don't want to get into spoilers, but it just like switches gears, and then the movie just kind of ends, and it's just like, what? Like, that's it? Like, that was terrible. I can almost guarantee that there was definitely some reshoots for the ending. Like, there had to been some like original plan with the ending, and I don't know if it was James Mangold or Disney. And honestly, it probably was Disney and Kathleen Kennedy, Lucasfilm, whatever, changed up the ending, and that's what we got. And because it's just so out of left field, and it just kind of did not make sense. And it was just like, I was just like, this is so dumb. And honestly, if they probably had a better ending, I might have given it a better, or I might have enjoyed it a little bit more. I don't know, but like, it's just like I said, the ending was really bad. Oh, and another thing that I had a problem with was the third act. Pretty much, Indiana Jones takes a backseat, and it becomes sort of Phoebe Waller's adventure. She's doing all the saving, pretty much. I'll leave it at that. And it pretty much becomes her movie towards the end, and that was another thing that I did not like. And like I said, it's just that whole ending was just a mess, and I was like, okay, this has to be some sort of reshoot, that this wasn't part of the original plan, and it just didn't. For me, it didn't pay off, and I just did not like it, and it did kind of ruin the movie for me, my enjoyment. Like I said, there was some action sequence that I enjoyed, and I was going along for the ride, and I would have been okay with it if the ending would have been better, and I would have been like, okay, you know what, this is a decent Indiana Jones movie. It's not the best, but it's good, serves its purpose. But since that ending happened, I'm like, okay, it's hard for me to recommend to anyone. And to say like, this is a good movie to watch, where it's like, okay, you would get some sort of satisfaction at the end, but you don't. It's just terrible, in my opinion. So yeah, I mean, those are pretty much my thoughts on the movie. It's a meh movie. Good action sequences. Beginning's great. I'll honestly probably watch it a couple of times, you know, just that beginning part because it's really that good, in my opinion. You know, it's very enjoyable, and there are some action sequences that are very enjoyable throughout the movie. But that's about it. The story's, you know, whatever. It's a throwaway plot. Ending is terrible. Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford is actually pretty good, and you know his acting is great, but he doesn't have much to do at the end, and then quickly becomes a Phoebe Waller-Bridge adventure at the end, which is, you know, blasphemy in my opinion, and I just don't get it. All right, so I'm gonna slap a score on this movie. I'm gonna give it 2.5 whips, and yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. So anyways, that's gonna do it for my review. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you.